What's up, everybody? I'm Devin Kennedy. I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Congratulations with Sundress. This single, man, like it just like speaks volumes. And it's like, I feel like everybody goes through this. Everybody has this experience. Everybody has this feeling, and everybody wants to write this song. So talk to me about that initial idea that kind of kickstarted the writing process for Sundress.
Totally, dude. Thanks so much for having me. It was a super natural process. I co-wrote it or started it with a close collaborator of mine, Dan Burke, and we do a ton of writing together, and we have over the years, and so we understand our process really well. It usually starts with like noodling on some instruments and just like finding some cool chords. In this case, like we wrote the entire song on acoustic guitar, which we don't always do, but this time we did, and it started very chill and easy. We were really focused on the lyrics and the melody. We wanted to do something that felt like summer and felt like California, and kind of captured the whole vibe of what I'm trying to do with my project right now. And we just we were kind of going over like, hey, let's write from title. Like we really never write from the title. We always try to write from like a concept. And we're like, the song just sounds like the beach. It sounds like someone like walking along the beach wearing a sundress. And we were like, oh, dude, that's so cool. Let's write from that. And it just stemmed out from there. And yeah, I think you nailed it with that little intro. Like it kind of captures like being along the water and just like having that moment of like, if I'm like, this could be a dream. Like my life is so perfect. Like I'm just watching this view and it's exactly what I want, you know?
One cool thing is like the melody in the chorus is just beautiful. Like that the cadence of how you do your lyrics. Like what process did you have to go through to kind of find that perfect cadence that you did with this song? Or did you feel like that just naturally happened as you were writing it down?
Yeah, so I think there's two parts to that. So the first half of the chorus, like the Sunday sundress part, that took a lot of crafting. We were like, dude, we got to find something super easy. Like we got to make it so singable, like Sunday sundress. Like we want everybody to be able to sing along. So we wrote that, and it took us a really long time to get that right, especially with the lyrics. And after we wrote it, we're like, all right, what sounds right for the next part? Like, where does this need to go? And it was like in one moment, like, if I'm dreaming, and we were like, dude, that's so good. That's it. And it's one of those moments that doesn't happen very often in writing where, or I guess it takes a lot of work to get it right. But one of those moments where like the melody and the chords match the lyric perfectly. It's just like one of those things where you're like, that was made, like it was made to be said there. It's almost like insane that someone hasn't written that yet, you know? We were pretty pumped on it the day we did that.
That must be such an incredible feeling that you know, it's something like I mentioned in the beginning, it's like it's something that everybody experiences and goes through and feels for, but like you're kind of right. Like it's something that also hasn't really been touched the way that you touched it. And how do you write something like that without kind of sounding like the next person? Or you know, with you, for example, you have experience writing with other artists or producing for other artists. So how does it not blend into their sound instead of your own sound? Like that must be a challenge in itself.
Yeah, I think I'm always trying to get better at that. The more I write for my project, the more I understand it, specifically what I'm looking for and what my listeners are looking for and what I'm going to gravitate towards for my project. And the more I write with other artists, the better I get at kind of disguising myself into their world. And it's like a clear divide. But I'm finding that writing for my project, like keeping them separate is like really the thing to do. Today, I'm writing for Devin Kennedy as opposed to writing for somebody else. And yeah, I mean, my sound is ever evolving, and everything always sounds different. But I think it's always clear to me when I've written something that's going to come out on my project. We know pretty much right away. Okay, this is going to be a Devin song. And I think that's not only, working with the right concepts and saying what I want to say in my own unique way, I guess, with my perspective, but also I like to keep things a little bit different on the production side. I'm not really doing a conventional pop thing. I'm combining different organic sounds and maybe throwing things together that don't usually get put together, like giant, hip hop 808s and ukuleles, like let's just go wild and see how vibey we can make a pop song. That's kind of what I'm doing with my stuff right now.
How has that kind of impacted the way that you write the lyrics, knowing that you are creating sounds that are not conventional in a sense?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, I do a ton of writing, and I try to keep things super diverse. So like, Sundress is definitely a simpler, love pop song. But that doesn't mean that, the next single can't be completely emotional and heartfelt, it's a wide range of concepts, and the message is, different every time, but it has to feel like me. I have to be able to say it, even if that sometimes makes it a little less relatable, or if it's only in my own way that I'm saying it. Like, it's got to be something that I can sell, something that I can sing and feel live or on the record.
On your last single, Mean to Me, you got to co-write with a friend of mine, Whack, and like I've been a fan of his music from his band days, like, for a long time. But now
Sure.
that he's put that down for a minute and worked on being a producer and being a songwriter, like, I love the way that he works and I love his style. How did the two of you kind of like, when you guys got together to collaborate, what was that collaborative process like between the two of you, and how do you feel like he impacted your songwriting?
Yeah, he's a super talented guy. That was our first session ever. I had never met him. I am also a fan of him from his band days. I love Tonight Alive. I saw Tonight Alive many times on shows back in the day. But I had never met him, and just came through a management connection, and got lucky enough to get in with him. And that was the first session we ever did. And yeah, he's a hyper talented person. It came very naturally, and that's kind of what I'm sensing from the sessions I've done since then with him too. Is it's never a moment of like, oh man, like beating our heads against the wall, like what's the next lyric? It's always like the session is moving, and after 5 hours, there's always something to listen back to. And that's a very special quality in a producer. Many sessions get stalled, like, oh man, what's going to be next? What do we have? What's the next section? Whatever. So he likes to keep things moving. He always knows what's next in the song. He has like a really great overview and a vision of what we're working on. And yeah, we've got some great songs together that we've done even since then. And I'm excited to do more with him. He's awesome.
Now, this material that you've been working on, is that like a body of work that we can expect, like maybe this year? Like, are you like, what are you currently working on that fans can look forward to?
Yeah, a lot of music. I've just been doing a ton of writing. I'm still doing a ton of writing, like 4 or 5 days a week over here. A lot of virtual stuff right now. And yeah, I think, an album's worth of music can definitely be expected. If I had to predict something, I think it would probably come in the form of a few EPs as opposed to an album. But I do plan on dropping some longer form projects as opposed to just single after single this year. So leading up to some interesting stuff with that as well. It's going to be an exciting year.
Nice. Now, to close us off, like, what do you feel was the biggest challenge in writing or recording Sundress?
We spent a while fine tuning the production. Like I said, we started it on acoustic guitar, and like maybe one day I'll have to release the original demo of it. But it's extremely, it's a heartfelt song anyway. But when you put that on like with just vocal and acoustic guitar, it's like almost like enchanting. It's very dreamy and it's beautiful. But we were like, all right, I think it needs a little bit of energy. So we wrote it in June of last year, and obviously it just came out. So we spent some time reworking the production. We brought in a friend of ours, Will Ventures, who co-produced it with me, and he killed it and really brought some energy to the song, which we thought was much needed. And then, you know, the fall months were spent kind of just like sitting with it for a little bit, changing things, simplifying things, whatever. I like to completely overthink my production. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it was just trying to insert some energy to make it like a real deal, like pop song, as opposed to something that was originally written very acoustic and dreamy.
Well, you nailed it, man. Like, it was definitely worth the wait. So congratulations with Sundress, and I'm really looking forward to more music from you. I'm a new fan, so I'm here to stay, man.